Hello and welcome back. It's been quite some time since I've made a video. I think 2 months, going on 2.5 months. And I'm sorry about that, but I've been very busy between working 5, 6 days a week at my job and then working a day or two a week out here and then trying to find some time for a little bit of enjoyment in between. My new property is coming along. I've got it mostly cleared. The grass used to be 3, 4 feet tall across the whole thing, and there used to be a lot of growth around a bunch of different trees that were scattered throughout the property. I have ripped most of it out, although there is still a couple of tree clusters that I need to clean out still, but they're on the corner of the property, and I'm not so worried about those at the moment. So let's go through a little tour and see how it looks now about 2.5, 3 months later. So I have some nice oaks that I've limbed up. And then I've cleared out the center portion of the property. I still have a lot to do along the ditches and the road. The grass used to be tall and thick like this, all throughout this section and most of the property. It took some time to clear, but now it's at a manageable level that I can mow. These vines are everywhere. If we keep pulling them, eventually they will die as we get their little root potatoes pulled out of the ground or ripped out, but it just takes time. And these things have thorns all over them. I probably should be wearing gloves, but this stuff isn't poisonous. This one's just a tree-hugging root that is obnoxious, or a tree-hugging vine that's obnoxious. So every couple weeks I pull this stuff, you get a little rake and I get after their roots and then let them grow for a little bit so I can find them all, and then I keep doing it and doing it around the trees that I want to keep. Eventually, I won't have to worry about them anymore. This used to be a whole tree and plant cluster filled with vines. As you can still see, there's dead vines hanging from it because I got in here with the tractor, used the root rake to rip everything. Now, it did rip the roots of the oak trees, and the oaks are probably going to die, if not are already mostly dead. But that's fine, I'll be cutting these down anyway. They didn't grow very well. You can tell that their growth pattern was inhibited by the vines growing all over them and pulling them down. It's unfortunate, but that's what vines do to a lot of the plants here in Florida and other parts of the world. So that's why we try our best to get rid of all of these vines. Eventually I will plant some better trees around the property, but that's gonna be a process I will get to at a later date. I've got a really big pine tree here towards the back of my property, and a twin pine off to the middle side. And I'm gonna be cutting them down because here in Florida, pine trees are just lightning rods. They will just get your home into trouble. They will either snap or fall onto your home, your garages, your greenhouses, your gardens. Their needles will mat the ground and prevent foliage and grass from growing. They're just not helpful in the environment that I currently live in, and I'm going to remove mine. It's going to take time, but we're going to cut them down, cut them up into firewood, and keep that stored to the side. Pine firewood is fine. It's a bit smokier than oak and other firewood because of the pine tar, the heavy pine sap. So When people have really smoky fires, sometimes it's because they also threw some pine in there. But I'm gonna get rid of these. Now, I got up real close to this tree. This one's called a fat lighter. So this used to be a pine tree. However, it was either struck by lightning or it died. And then because pine trees are so thick with pine tar, a thick hardy pine sap, they kind of solidify and harden, almost like a petrified wood, but not stone-ish. It can be cut with a chainsaw, but it is tough on a chainsaw. The interesting thing about fat lighter is that it's kind of like a natural fire starter, in that all you need is a little bit of a flame, and this will ignite pretty easily because of the crystallized sap that's all through it. And just a couple of sticks like this thrown into a fire to keep it lit or start the fire will cause it to smoke, thick black smoke for a little bit, and then it'll be done. But they're definitely helpful as a natural fire starter. But they don't really help me as they are on the property, so I'm gonna cut this one down. I've got 2 more, and I'm just gonna keep them stored off to the side and chip them with a hatchet and make plenty of fire starting sticks that'll last me a very long time. Now, I'm over by my compost bins, and this is getting closer to the corner of my property, but I've got another pine tree that I definitely want to cut down. But this is how a lot of these tree clusters looked. They just have all these vines and miscellaneous shrubby plants or cruddy plants. Stuff that is quote unquote natural, because that's just how it grows here in nature, but it doesn't do me any good where it's at. It doesn't block visibility from the road or anything else. So I am going to be cleaning this up, shredding the things that are good to go into my compost, cutting down the pine tree, because this pine tree can only fall onto my garden or other things that we're doing. So it is not helpful. It's taken a bit of time and a lot of work, but I'm getting there. It's looking really good. I need to bring in some dirt from the dirt stacks that my brother has and level a couple of spots, but it's actually turning out really well. Unfortunately, I can't save this oak tree that's right here. It looks like it's growing straight right now, but it's growing at an angle and the root base is lifting out of the ground. And I'll walk around and show you that in a moment. So I am gonna have to cut down this oak tree, which is very unfortunate. I would like to save as many good trees as I can, but unfortunately that one's not going to make it. Over time, through different windstorms, the roots have started getting exposed, and as it grew heavier up top, it started lifting up the root base. So this tree is going to fall naturally, but I would rather cut it down ahead of time. That way it doesn't cause a problem. It's coming along. I'm getting there. But if you have any questions for me, post something in the comment section below. And if you actually do like some of the things I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. And I do plan on trying to get more content out over time, but between my work schedule and all the other things I have going on, it's pretty time consuming to get a video recorded and edited. So I'm only putting out video content as I can right now, with the plans to do a lot more in the future, but Right now, I'm very busy. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.